Okay, there you go. All right, nothing like doing a podcast with the microphone off. Welcome aboard, everybody. Welcome aboard on a lovely Monday morning. Nice to see everybody in the chat room. Usually on a holiday, and today is a holiday, right? Isn't today George Washington Day or something like that? Okay, okay. There you go. So we have a wonderful situation on the Monday. I don't think Kevin's going to be here today because he had too much last night. Spent the night with Andrea last night. If you missed that, what a great night we had last night with Doug Boyle leading it off. We got a great Sunday night now with Dougie Boyle coming up first, and then we got George, who George is absolutely amazing. I tell you, and Doug Boyle. Holy mackerel. Doug Boyle, when I first heard you doing podcasts, we had meetings every night, okay? But you're fantastic, Doug. And then we had Andy and what's his name? Kevin Hastings. And then King Hap is joining us on Wednesday. Wednesday, 7 o'clock. We got the King Hap Show, whatever the name of it is. It's great. Don't worry about it. Outlaw Seal, good morning to you. And good morning, everyone, on a lovely morning. And I got to tell you, if you missed come on, you guys got to get serious. Phil Chaplin is here. Good morning to Phil. Jay Bass, we're seeing him on Thursday. Malpal, Ohio Angels fan. Outlaw Seal, there's Kevin. Taco is here. Unholy Toledo, Timothy My Hooker. Holy cow, what a DK Lucius here. Andrea's here. What do you got? Good morning to everyone. Okay, if you have any problem, by the way, if you have a lot of people have been getting a lot of people have been getting the draft guide, and if you have any questions, anything going on, I love you, man. Love you all. Absolutely love you all. So let's get right to it, and let's talk a little bit about some closers that we really haven't talked about. We're going to talk about the Angels today, but some closers. The job openings in St. Louis, not exactly posted on the corkboards inside the clubhouse, okay? So we have a situation where we really don't know what's happening with Carlos Martinez. There is a chance that he could return to the rotation, leaving the ninth inning unoccupied, and there's several closer candidates like Ryan Helsley, who will open spring games on a starters program and then see what happens. Okay, even a closer. Don't forget, when you're looking at spring training, the closers, people say, well, he's not a closer. He came in the third inning. Those are the closers. First of all, even closer, needs to pitch 2 innings out of the gate, okay? And closers come in early in the game because they really don't want the closer coming in the ninth inning to face number 99 and face number 126, the unknowns. They want him to face the meat of the order. So that'll be pretty good, okay? So, look, Andrew Miller, John Gant, Giovanni Gallegos, Brebbia, all these guys are going to be auditioned. And the closer spot, and it could go by matchup. They didn't want to earmark Hicks for the ninth inning, okay, when the middle of the opponent's order was coming up in the eighth. And they wanted Miller available in the ninth inning if Christian Yelich or Joey Votto or Anthony Rendon comes up. That's what the Cardinals have done. So I'll tell you something. It's going to, of course, Hicks' elbow came unwound, unglued, and Martinez took over. And he did a good job. Only the Dodgers bullpen had a lower ERA in the National League than the Cardinals. And the Cardinals had the best bullpen ERA in the National League in the postseason. The Cardinal relievers, and this is why it may be very difficult to pick out a Cardinal closer, the Cardinal relievers allowed the fewest hits and the fewest home runs of any bullpen. So, it's going to be a little difficult. Look, and the most reliable was Giovanni Gallegos. He was the Cardinals' most reliable setup man. He had that 1.89 ERA, 13 holds in the second half. This kid has 2 elite pitches. Miller has been an all-star and a closer before. Gant was the team's leading setup man in the first half when the team, look, he was almost an all-star reliever. But he fell apart down the stretch. He walked 19 in his last 21 and two-thirds innings. Brebbia just goes out there, and he struck out 37 batters in his final 32 innings, including the playoffs. So, Helsley has been sharpening his secondary pitches. He brought back a curveball to his mix, and he's been going with a changeup. He'll be going with a changeup big time in the off season. Okay, so okay, and there you go. Helmsley struck out 28 and walked only 8 in his last 31 innings. He had a 2.27 ERA in the second half. So it's very likely that we're going to see a closer by collaboration. And that is pretty cool, okay? So it's not cool. It stinks for fantasy baseball. Another closer you got to watch is Raciel Iglesias, and he could, look, I've been really touting since. And the Big Al on the prowl is here. Chris Gallo has joined us. Good morning. Leonard Donaldson. Good morning to Leonard Donaldson, and everybody's happy. Everybody's great. Martino, yeah. George said yesterday if Martin Prado was a podcaster, he'd be Kevin Hastings. That's what George. That's why you got to listen to George. Big Al says you got to stick with Carlos Martinez. Well, you know what? That could happen too. But all I'm saying to you is right now, it is wide open. Wide open. So, excuse me, anything could happen. Just got to get a drink. Do I have a drink? Yes, I do. Okay. That's what happens when you're old and you podcast. Iglesias, last year, remember, he didn't want to be the effector. I didn't think he'd be on this team. And the fact that he's still on this team in Cincinnati tells me a lot. Okay? He had a disappointing 2019 season. So don't think that just because we love Cincinnati and we're spending money on Iglesias, he led all Major League Baseball relievers with 12 losses. He earned a career high 34 saves, but he finished with a career high 4.16 ERA across 67 innings. So, how many of you people really have confidence in Raciel Iglesias? And will he pitch in many non-save situations like he did last year? All right? Manager Bell said he wanted to have a few more conversations with Iglesias. Iglesias had a 3.59 ERA and a 1.05 whip in save situations last year. But here's the thing. He had a 5.18 ERA and a 1.521 whip in non-save situations. That's not going to do it for a contending team like the Cincinnati Reds. And last year, Iglesias came out and said he was frustrated with how much he was used in non-save situations in May. He had 5 losses in his first 15 appearances, and he couldn't adjust. He felt awkward coming in early. He has these players, they have a routine, and a routine is a routine is a routine. Okay? And speaking of routines, I'm just gonna go with let's just go with Keon Keela, and then I got some the Astros. I don't want to talk about the Astros. I really don't. The only thing I'm going to say about the Astros is, what do you think's going to happen opening day? First Astro comes up to bat. What do you think is going to happen opening day? Welcome by opening day here in Astroland, and up to bat is Altuve. Here's the windup. Altuve is gonna go down before the pitcher releases the ball. Okay, I'm telling you, he's going to fall down to the ground in the batter's box before the pitcher releases the ball. Anybody want to bet on that? If that happens, remember, you heard it first right here. The only way the Astros could redeem themselves is if they win. And I'm really looking forward to the first road trip. The Astros first, I think it's their first road trip. You know where they're going? They're not going to Cincinnati to see Trevor Bauer. We would all be there, right? Everybody would be there. If the Astros went to Cincinnati to see Trevor Bauer, there you go. Phil Chaplin says he'd plunk the first 9 and then let it go. Oh, my God. Oh, we just found out Joe from Staten Island is here. Good morning to Joe. Big Joe Galena, one of the best guys in the industry. Good morning to Joe. Zelmo has joined us. Good morning to Dr. Z. All right, great stuff. So, yeah, the only way the Astros will redeem themselves is just by winning. And in thinking of punishments, I'm going to get back to closers in a minute, but thinking of punishments, how about this? The Astro punishment should be that they should be disqualified from the playoffs, which, by the way, the new playoff system is horrible. I mean, if you're a winning team, if you finish in first, you get 5 days off. That's not good. 5 days off hurts teams. You don't want to be in first place, have the best record, and you get 5 days off. I mean, you don't get 5 days off all year. That's crazy, man. That's going to hurt those teams while the other teams are playing. So I think that the Astros should be disqualified from the playoffs and not allowed to make any trades for 3 years. Right? How about that? So instead of taking the World Series away in the past, I take the World Series away in the future. All right. I know that's kind of out there, but Keon Keela, all right, has every intention of claiming the closer role in Pittsburgh. He's the front runner. Keon Keela, we all like him, but we really, what the hell? Keon Keela to replace two-time All-Star Felipe Vasquez. And given the effectiveness that Keela has shown in high-leverage situations with Texas 2 years ago, look, it's a bad team, Pittsburgh, but we all know that. So he really wants to. He is really going all out. And he says in the Pittsburgh Tribune, as Phil Chaplin has probably read that, yes, he wants to be the closer. Okay. So when somebody says, I like when the closers. I remember there was a closer years ago who said, look, I'm just going to do my best, and if I get the job, I'm going to do it. Bull dinky and poppycock. I want my closer to say, give me the ball. And that's what Keon Closer is doing, okay? Okay? With Vasquez, he was not interested in being a leader. But Keela, who was demoted to AAA, after his, he was the center of clubhouse chaos. He was suspended 2 games for an altercation. He's a fiery young fella. He also drew a 10-game suspension and with a bench-clearing brawl with Cincinnati. He likes to send a message. He threw a pitch over the head of Derek Dietrich. So I'm telling you, that's what I want. I remember Ryan Duran would come in, the pitcher for the Yankees, with Coca-Cola bottle glasses, and he would cut his first pitch in warm-ups would be over the catcher's head into the net. It's all about intimidation. So Keela, very abrasive, self-described. He's like Andrea, all right? And I call Andrea this all the time, a bull in a china shop. All right? So, look, I like Keon Keela a lot. So we'll see how that works out with the great Keon Keela. All right? Now, but before we get into closers, let's just get onto the Clevenger situation. We got more closers to talk about, but Clevenger don't forget, Clevenger missed the first 2 months of the season with a strained muscle